guys, what's up? We are the Otaku couple. I am Mrs. Otaku.
And I'm Mr. Otaku.
And this is the Anime Freshman on the I'd Rather Anime channel. This is your place to catch up on all things anime, new and old, with a lovely addition of our opinions, thoughts, and banter. We are here with LaKase. She's waving at you already. And we are here to talk Hunter x Hunter. And this week, if you guys have been keeping up with it, we are talking about episodes 26 through 38. And we know you could be doing other things, so we are so glad that you would rather anime with us. With that said, we have so much to talk about. So, let's get into this. Last week, we were talking about how you wanted more, right? You wanted to know more about the world.
I got more.
You wanted some world building, and we got plenty of world building. These episodes covered the entire Evans Arena arc.
Yeah.
And you got finally introduced to Nin. How do you feel about Nin, the power system?
It's so interesting. Okay. I feel like I don't want to have a thing to complain about every time. My only complaint this time is that I wish they had introduced it sooner.
Exactly. I understand.
That was just a really... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's why we were like, you haven't really started the show. You don't really get it until you know what the power system is. But that's 3 arcs down the road when it first starts.
For real. It's no other show can get away with you having to wait 26 episodes to get to major world building. Only in an anime. Yeah. But I was so glad we got into this. I'm still trying to make sure I understand Nin and Rin and all the other stuff and the 6, types of,
They'll repeat
powers.
It at the beginning of every episode for the next 60 episodes or so. So you'll get it eventually.
Thank the Lord.
And you will absolutely understand what Hisoka's power is by the end of this because they explain it every single time.
Every time.
Every single time he chose
I cannot stand that character. I so desperately want him to die. I know he's not because anime. I hate that character. He's creepy. I know we talked about this last week ad nauseum. He's gross. He's creepy. I want him to be dead. He ought to be on America's Most Wanted. I'm over it. I'm over it. Give me a new villain, but it serves the purpose. It's because he's so such stark contrast. Gon, the gang, but And honestly. Oh, I'm so sorry. I will go on and on. You go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're the freshman. You got the show.
No. Well, okay. So people watching have probably already seen this or they've been watching along with us. Finding out on episode 38, or it might have been 37. No, it was 38. About Gon's dad.
Yeah.
He gets that box, the cube. He opens it up. He listens to the tape. And his dad, I'm like, the dad's the villain. The dad is our new villain. Why is he not the villain? He said, I don't want to see you. It's like a game, I'm selfish. I left you, blah, 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 and I hope you don't find me, blah, blah, blah. And then you erased everything so Gon had a harder time. We don't know who Gon's mom is.
He was going to tell him. Yeah. But he was just like, you know what? Aunt Mito's my mom.
She's my
mom.
Don't
really need to know anything about her. Which, that was one aspect of Hunter x Hunter that I've always really, really liked because a lot of times you get this narrative of, I just want to know. I want to know my history. I don't know who I am. Boo-hoo, sad, cry. Gon's like, nah, I'm good.
I already had a mom, so I don't need to know.
Right? I know her. Right. She raised me. Why would I try to replace her with a dead woman?
But I never had Yeah, but I never had a dad, and he does exist.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah.
And that moment where he's like, I'm not going to call him dad. I call him Gene. Like everybody else. Yeah, that's his name. That fits. It's better.
Because he wasn't your dad. Yeah.
It
definitely works
so
better.
Real. Yep. I like it.
Me too. So I'm like, we can just trade up from creepy clown and go to the dad. The dad is the new big bad or something. I don't know. I want so nasty. It grosses me out. That was a great twist. Seeing the dad on a dragon on top of another dragon. Riding off into the distance.
You thought of the scene was epic. Wait until it pans out.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get even more. Whoa! So that was an interesting twist. Finding all that out now. I was afraid we would have to wait until I'm thinking of other shows I've watched where that's the driving force. Is I'm trying to find like you said, Chelsea. I'm trying to find my missing parents or who I am or a family member and we go through this for several seasons and the last season you find them or last season you find out what happened to them or motivations and it was really good to find that's out now in season 1. The dad, all of the truths came out. And I mean he's still looking for him but we kind of know what to expect. Like our expectations have been managed. Like he's not a great dude.
I wouldn't even say he's not a great dude. He's definitely not a great parent.
He's not
definitely
a great parent.
No, not a great parent at all.
But to be fair, very few anime dads are decent parents.
Well, at least he exists, unlike most anime parents. He's in the world somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the only good anime dads are in Studio Ghibli movies.
Probably.
Probably why we don't know any good anime dads.
Probably.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, so when you guys have your anime freshman first class, we're gonna just like every week is gonna be a Studio Ghibli movie. Because they're all at HBO Max. I will find a way to make sure that you guys can see it, and we will make it happen. I will mail you my copy. It will change your life. I have DVDs Max. And I have digital. They're all on HBO Max. Okay, bet. So you guys on the channel, just be ready. They're going to have their minds blown, or they're going to hate me. Probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
One or the other.
Let the people.
What was that? Oh, you said that Hisoka is like a parallel to Gon. I feel like Hisoka is actually more of a parallel to Killua than he is
for sure.
to Gon, because both of them are they're not enhancers, transmuters. And so when he's doing his little personality test or whatever, they're like, he's like, oh, he's right. Like these are the exact personality traits. But he and Killua are this like very much similar. And so like he's right. Like if Hisoka was a little less creepy, him and Gon could be friends because Killua is literally his best friend. And the same traits that Killua has, Hisoka has.
He's just older and pedophile.
Yeah, and pedophile. And
yes,
more,
very pedophilic.
Yeah.
So,
it's like Killua is who Hisoka could have been if he'd had a friend or a skateboard or nature.
I also really like that Hisoka is like, he's pedophile-ish, but it's like there's also a clear distinction between like who like the type of people he actually likes versus like the type of people he just really, really wants to fight. Because I feel like Gon and like some of the other characters that you're gonna meet in the future fall into that category of he just really wants to fight them. Versus because when he got his arms ripped off and the girl was there with the men stitches, he was like, "Hey, so like you want to stay for dinner?" Like
trust me.
No.
I remember. I had to turn it down.
What did you think of the whole little nin stitch ability?
Nuts.
It was wild, right?
It was nuts. Yes, and then he pulled off his because he can like graft skin. And he pulled off his what's that? Oh my gosh, the spider tattoo with the 4 on it. Because he's number 4 of that gang. He just like popped it off.
Phantom Troop spider.
Phantom Troop. Yes, he just popped it off, threw it on the window or the mirror. I was like, ooh. Yeah. But those little touches are so cool. Just like to see how powerful powerful people who can master it are.
Keep in mind that it's not actually skin. It's just like a paper cloth type thing. And
He just
sticks it to his skin and makes it look like
skin.
But can we talk about how much skill that takes to have his nin going so long that he doesn't even remember that it's stuck to his back? Like it's just there.
He's like,
because if he deactivates his nin, it would fall off.
It would just fall.
Just constantly in it. Yeah, that was nuts. Speaking of nin, when Gon, just the way the dad was able to like he had that nin going for 12 years,
so like,
waiting
once
for
he
Gon.
Imbued it with nin, it just stayed that way.
Yeah, it stayed. It was.
And I think it's really cool that like how things are introduced, because like you get the nin thread for the first time when Gon is on punishment for fighting, but then that same technology is used later on, but in reverse. So instead of him being like, okay, you can't break it, it's like the object is to break it. Like that's what you're trying to do.
Oh, so cool.
I just love how everything comes
full circle. Yeah.
Right.
And one thing that I really like about Togashi and the way he did nin, if you look at Hisoka's personality test or whatever, he stays true to that personality test for every nin user throughout the entirety of the show. So it's just like, if a person has this personality, they have that nin type. And it's consistent the whole way through. And it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That is cool. I just love the depth. The one thing I really have always loved and admired about anime shows or like movies that I've watched is the richness of the world building and the character development. like you would think it just like most of my experiences was with film. I prefer film to shows, but even in films, like I always talk about Akira, a movie that I didn't really like the first time I watched it. I had to watch it again, but like it's our world, but like there's this depth that you're immediately thrown into in it. Same thing with Studio Ghibli movies, like they just establish things so like right off the bat. That's not like saying across the board it's that way, but it's something that has always drawn me to anime films, anime shows.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that, you know, kind of like a crossover because, you know, we write. And that's like when I'm like picking stuff apart, I feel like that's one of the things that I just enjoy that you get with like a visual medium. Is there are so many things that you just understand right off the bat that nobody has to explain to you. So like with Hunter x Hunter, it's like you get right off the bat in the first episode. First of all, Gon is superhuman with his agility and like he's just really flexible. He does the impossible already.
Yes.
You know, he is one of a kind and this world is very extreme because even in the intro, you've got all types of animals. They're showing you the map. They're explaining how this world works. You've got his fishing rod and it's already defying the laws of physics because
it caught that super giant fish in the first episode.
And so you get all of that from the very beginning and it's just like I really appreciate it, especially the character building because you know I love characters. Like my stories are character driven. And so I like when you have Killua and then that moment when you know they're at the testing gate, right? Earlier on. And the guy casually mentions that, oh, by the way, Killua opened up to the third gate when he came in and he wasn't even trying.
Yeah, he was just coming home.
He was just coming home. And then fast forward, you have him and Gon on Whale Island and he's like, oh yeah, I could twist open a steel box. That's no problem.
Yeah.
Well,
he's like,
So,
he has to push a 16-ton door just to make it into his house. So
and so like when you see his muscles straining and you're like, okay, he is putting a lot of force into this and he can't break it. It's like I feel like that is a touch that you can appreciate that you wouldn't have been able to if you didn't know that he had opened up until that point.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I love those two. I really enjoy the show when it's just Killua and Gon. I enjoy their interactions. I think Killua is such an interesting character.
It's so wholesome.
It is.
But it's just
and also kind of terrifying. And I like the teacher. I liked their nin teacher that they met with that after Killua fought that young boy. What was the boy's name?
Zushi,
yes. I liked those two. So I was like, oh, don't leave them yet because I'm hoping they come back. But just watching them develop themselves and learn everything has been so exciting. Really made this show come alive in a different way. And oh my gosh, did we even talk about Canary last time? Homegirl? We did. Okay. I want to see her again.
We talked about how she drew the line and everything.
Yeah. That's right. We did talk about her. Well, I kind of cheated a little bit and looked ahead because I was like, she's got to come back. So I'm excited to see like what happens with her.
Should we tell her?
Spoiler alert. I don't know.
No.
Don't tell me. I didn't like look.
No. Let's just go back and talk about the fights. So we saw a lot of fights in Heaven's Arena.
So many fights.
Matter of fact, what did you even think about the system, like how they did it with the floors and everything?
Didn't follow a thing about it. I was like, okay, that's in one ear, out the other. I don't know how the hell that works. What I do love about it was, I'm sorry I'm jumping all over the place, but this was so cool. The guy who could make doubles of himself, who almost killed Hisoka.
Astro.
Yes, that was so cool. But okay, sorry to answer your question, Ben. I really didn't understand. I know as they went up higher, they could beat floor champions. They could have the floor. They got millions of dollars.
And, right,
you know,
so like, the first 50 floors you go individually, right? So your first match places you on one of those floors, and they automatically got jumped to the 50th floor, and then
that's right.
From the 50th floor, you do fights until you get to the 100th floor, and then once you get to the 100th floor, it goes by 10. So
tens, okay.
Until you get
to the 200th floor, and then once you get to the 200th floor, you have to fight 10 matches, and then you can challenge a floor master.
But if you lose 4 matches, then you have to start over.
Kick back down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
The 200th floor is where you can use nin, you can use weapons, and there's no time limit on the matches.
Yeah.
And so the rules get a little bit more serious. Like you up here, so you better be ready.
Yeah. Like, if you don't know, you gonna know.
Like, if you don't know, you
gotta figure it out.
Oh,
you didn't know that this cement block could be used against you? Here you go. Yeah. You know what's so funny? I think it was Homegirl explaining it, and she was in like that high-pitched, annoying voice, so I just zoned out. And I was like, okay, I'll just watch and it'll make sense. But that was cool. That was a cool system. I'm actually glad we didn't spend like the whole season on that piece of the arc. I actually felt like that flew faster than the Hunter exam. The Hunter exam felt like it kind of dragged on and on for me. But watching them fight.
Shorter.
Yeah, it was. And I think the Hunter exam was also kind of frustrating because you want Gon and Killua doing Gon and Killua type stuff. But the Hunter exam has rules, and the Hunter exam has time limits, and the Hunter exam was like you had other people.
Yeah,
you got a lot of
structure to it.
Other stories.
Yeah,
like,
it had to introduce so many characters.
Yeah, because we got the story of like Pokel, like the guy with the hat who passed the Hunter exam. Like we saw
what he was doing.
We saw what he was doing. We saw Hanzo. We saw the three guys. Like every character in the Hunter exam, we saw why they did not make the Hunter exam. Yes. So it just felt so much longer, in my opinion.
It did.
But I also really liked the Hunter exam. Like, that's one of my favorite arcs, only because I really like the tournament at the end when Hanzo can't break Gon. I don't know. I get a kick out of that, and I love seeing Killua surprise Leorio and Kurapika. Like, oh yeah, y'all knew he was an assassin,
He comes from a whole family of assassons.
And they're like, why didn't you tell us that? Are you good? Do you need some water? Like, we're friends.
They're like, yep.
Don't touch me.
Exactly. It was dope. It was. It just there were some things that dragged on for me.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I needed a mint. If you can hear me,
she pulled her old lady moves like, let me reach in my bag and get my mint.
Let me get my word is original. One time I was on the, sorry, I'm going to tell an old lady side story. I was on the train. There's not Greyhound. We have train systems here in California that go from like where I live to Oakland and San Francisco and, down to the Bay. Mm-hmm. And so I would take the train back when things were semi-normal to go see my friend Jess. And I always have mints just because I don't know. I'm an old lady. And and we go through UC Davis, college town. So it's always an influx of young people. So I always try to make room. So I don't have to I don't know. I want to make sure that everybody has room. This guy sat next to me and I was like, do you want a mint? He was like, okay. I was like, I'm officially a grandma. I was like,
LaKase. First rule of being a human being: do not accept candy from strangers.
What was I gonna do? Am I gonna take him off the train? Like, come on, boy. You mine now.
That's the first rule of life. Like, do not accept candy from strangers under any circumstances.
I'm not a stranger.
Yes, you are. To him, you were.
He's a college kid, not a toddler. He can have some. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I've done another old lady side quest. Sorry. Finn's not used to all my side stories. Whenever Chelsea and I talk, this is what happens all the time. I'm so sorry.
He watches the Melanin Chat. He should be aware.
Yeah, That's true.
That's true.
So, slight plug, if you're watching this and you enjoy LaKase and I's dynamic, you should totally check out the Melanin Chat. It's every Tuesday at 12 o'clock on the Written Melanin channel, and you can check that out in the description box below. There we go.
Nice
we'll see you there. That was a great plug.
I'm usually in the chat, too.
Yeah, we're all there.
We're all there. It's a big family meeting.
Yeah. This was like a giant tournament arc, and we haven't talked about any of the fights.
I mean, that's just how the conversation went. But he really wants to talk about. First, let's talk about the fight that Hisoka has with Castro, because that happened first. And you were talking about how you enjoyed the guy who can make bubbles of himself. What did you like? Obviously, you enjoyed that. What did I like
about it?
But let's discuss it. Let's bring this topic
absolutely
to the table so that Ben can be.
Let's do it. Yeah, anything for Ben. What I liked about it, besides that, I love when animation can make fights look so real. Kind of reminds me of Avatar: The Last Airbender. There were moments where I was like, how do they make this look so real? But what I specifically liked about this fight was that I think it was probably the best illustration of what Nin can do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really great, I mean, as a storyteller, I always look for moments where you're giving all this information, but it doesn't feel like you're being dumped on. And that's what I liked about it. Like we got to learn about like the fighting style, how Nin can move, how you can misdirect, how you can do all these things, how you can break it, how you can, you know, in like a 10-minute, oh, actually, I think it lasted the whole episode, but I mean, we got like a real lesson in that. So it was, I liked it because I got some action. It wasn't a bunch of talking. And on the flip side of that, you still got the info. Sorry, go ahead.
And finding out how he won is really what really got me like excited. It's just like, because when you watch the fight, they play it like you're a spectator in the audience, so you don't fully understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Or how Hisoka got his arm back.
Or how Hisoka got his arm back. You know, how his disembodied arm hit the dude in the face. You know, why these playing cards just like ran into this dude, and it's just like, what in the world is happening? And then they explain it, and you're like, wow. And then it all makes sense with this ability, and its ability really isn't that complicated.
No, that was brilliant, right?
Yeah, like,
that was so cool.
It has the properties of both rubber and gum.
It's a bungee gum.
Bungee gum.
Bungee gum. I was like, come on now, but it worked. It worked.
It did.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was pretty cool.
So while we're on the topic of Castro, and one of the things that I really love that I didn't really catch until this watch through, and we've watched it like a bajillion times. So, but how they build up, just how they build up Gon and Killua in very subtle ways, because how he goes to see Castro, right? Because we know Killua is strong. We know he's dope, right? But the fact that he gets up there and then he is like he's on the hallway when he decides to conceal his presence, and Castro was like, "Yeah, no, I knew you were here because you just suddenly disappeared," and like, like trust and believe that everybody on this floor is watching you guys because like you're 12 on the 200th floor and you're winning fights. Like you can't just up and disappear.
That was so cool. Yeah,
I love that because I'm like, that's a very subtle way to be like, it's not just Hisoka who are keeping an eye on them. Like every fighter up there is keeping an eye.
Every fighter. Yeah. And I thought it was cool that they show that it's not just Hisoka who has this crazy power. Yeah. You know, I look at it as like a superpower. Like all these people have like put everything on the line to learn how to do.
Yeah.
So that was.
They all have different unique abilities to them. That makes them special.
Yeah.
I just now realized as we were talking about this, and we're talking about Hisoka and Killua and all of them, their fighting styles. Do you realize that the mistake that Killua made at the Hunter exam is the same thing that Hisoka does in Heaven's Arena? He doesn't fight people he doesn't think are interesting. Yeah. And all of his losses have come from he didn't show up. But when he did show up, people died. Yeah. And that was like Killua's whole MO in the Hunter exam. Like he was like, I don't want to fight this dude because I think he's boring. Like, I don't think it would be interesting. And he just made a bad decision. Mm-hmm. But like Hisoka probably, like, when he fought Castro, it's like, he's the only person that we've seen so far to actually give Hisoka a run for his money. Like, oh, you went to a black screen.
Oh, you're gone.
You back?
Oh gosh, sorry, it froze. Okay, can you hear me or see me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, it froze on me. So I was like, oh no. Okay.
Okay. I don't know
when Killua fought Castro, I think is what you're saying.
Oh, Hisoka.
Yeah.
Hisoka. Sorry. That didn't happen.
But I thought it was interesting because Castro is the only one who gave Hisoka a run for his money. And it's just like, I don't know. I like that aspect of it when you can see the parallel between not necessarily who Hisoka could have been, but very easily who Killua could become.
Who he could become. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
that's such a great narrative device, I think, to have these. Like, I think I'm so glad you pointed that out because I've been sitting here thinking about the way, because I think it's normal for us to think about the ways the hero and the villain are foils. Mm-hmm. But I think it's even cooler when you have the hero's like sidekick best friend, ultimate badass, who's still the side character, being the foil of the villain. Like how their connection to the hero keeps them on that path. So I like that.
Because if Killua wasn't a deviant in his family, he'd be just like Illumi. He would just be
Yes.
doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Which is killing people.
Yeah.
Right, and
Killing
Illumi
people.
would be absolutely right in saying that the only reason you want to hang out with Gon is because you want to know if you can kill him, because that's how Hisoka is.
Yeah.
He keeps going around because he wants to fight him. He wants to see
Once he gets
who he's going to become so that he can
Where he
become
gets-
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And he likes Gon's
Ugh.
potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
minus the pedophile.
Killua's my
stuff,
favorite.
'cause I don't think.
Oh my god, if we could
would
just
be
cut that
pedophile.
part out altogether, oh, I would be so happy. Killua's, I think, my favorite character.
Yeah.
I really like Killua, but I like
That's
a
awesome.
bad, slightly crazy.
But you know what I said to Ben? I was like, all of Hisoka's pervy moments, I was like, somebody had to voice act this once in
I know! Oh my
and then
gosh,
again-
sorry.
and then again in English, like somebody watched this in the Japanese version, and he was like, "Okay, this is your character." And he's like, "I have to animate this. I have to voice act this." Bruh.
I don't even know how a person would sound when they do this.
He's like-
Nah,
He's like, I haven't
pretty
worked
they
in-
know how
like-
he sounds. It's just he has to recreate it in the studio environment.
Right, and it's like how he's like, I haven't worked in months. Like, I need this job.
I can't turn it down.
I can just let me
Nobody-
just read these
Hey,
lines.
Don't put my name on the credits on this episode.
Oh, their fight, you guys. Let's talk about Hisoka and Gon fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting up here. Mark watched with me, and I was like, beat his ass, go!
When he finally landed that first hit on Hisoka,
What you mean?
Oh,
that first hit when he got to give the
Okay.
badge back.
when Gon rocked him, I was like, yeah, finally. Please let him be dead.
His only real hit, because let's be real here, all of his other hits, Hisoka gave up. It wasn't that
He
he
did.
couldn't have avoided them. He just was distracted.
Honestly,
By his
he
own
could have lost
nature.
on that first hit. He could have attached his bungee gum the first time Gon hit him, and it would
He
have been
did.
over.
Yeah.
No, no.
He gave Gon, he
he-
attached his bungee gum to Gon when he was doing the personality twist.
Yeah.
That thing was attacked the entire time Gon was attacking
It
him.
was?
Yeah, but I'm saying on that very first hit or whatever, because he hadn't done the personality test at the beginning. But when when Gon first hit him, he could have attached his bungee gum at that time. He could have attached it literally at any time. He waited until the personality test, but his point in the fight when he was teaching Gon a lesson was like, yeah, I could have done it at situations 1, 2, or 3. You know? So it's just like,
Yeah.
how in a realistic world, it's just like, how would Gon beat Hisoka in any way? Because you can't attack him physically.
Well, that's,
Can't. Oh
that's
gosh,
the
someone
thing.
poisoned him.
I feel like just as a general rule of thumb, enhancers are a poor matchup for transmuters, because it's just like, if you wanted to be real, like, how would he beat Killua if he were to fight him seriously? How would Wing
True.
have beaten Hisoka? And Wing has so much more experience, right? And he's an enhancer. How would he have beaten Hisoka? I think it's just like kind of like rock paper scissors. Like it's a matchup thing. Like
Yeah.
or like Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you've been fire, you probably like fighting a waterbender is going to be more difficult than fighting an earthbender.
Yeah, you gotta
Exactly.
be creative in order to come out with a
Also,
strategy. Go ahead.
question: is there a test I can take to see what kind of nin I have? Because
Yes,
I
there
want
is.
to know.
Yes, there
There
is.
is.
Yeah.
Should we take it live?
If I can remember the link.
website.
I'll find it.
we
I'll just
did-
Google it. Probably like on
Put it up over
Zimbio or
here on the
something.
side.
I want you to take the same one that we took like a few months ago.
Oh,
Based on Hisoka's personality quiz, you're not an enhancer.
You're definitely not an
You're
enhancer.
not an enhancer. You're not. You're not.
What
a
is your hunter?
transmuter.
was it uquiz.com?
That's a possibility.
There's like 7 quizzes.
Just
Play
pull
Buzz.
up-
There's.
pull up Hisoka's personality quiz.
I so wanna know.
Because you ain't gonna do what I want to on the computer.
Give me a sec. I was trying to find what I sent you first.
You ain't gonna.
Oh, I can't find it on here though. Ugh.
I was going to say, to viewers, please take this quiz with me. I want to know what kind of nin type you are as well. I want to know what everybody's nin type is. There's literally so many quizzes
There are like people
just-
make them all the time.
all the time. Or maybe I could just like see a breakdown. You guys know me pretty well.
Enhancers are
Okay.
determined and simple. That ain't you. Transmuters are whimsical and prone to deceit. You might be a transmuter. No, prone to deceit. Yeah, no.
Prone
no.
to-
Emitters are impatient, not detail-oriented, and quick to react in a volatile manner. Considering how much research you do, probably not that. Conjurers are typically high-strung or overly serious and stoic. That might be you. Manipulators are logical people who advance at their own pace. And specialists are individualistic and charismatic. I got a specialist when I did mine.
Okay, there's a U quiz. I'm taking that. I'm probably gonna pick. Oh,
yeah. If I had to pick one,
no, you're gonna be mean. I'll pick my own. Shit. No, sorry. You don't get to decide. I'm taking this test.
I think you're a
let me do
conjurer.
Playbuzz.
That's what I would guess.
I'm not uptight. I'm a little bit uptight. I'm like a fun amount of uptight.
Or a manipulator. You're probably a manipulator. Logical people who advance at their own pace. They're all for arguments and tend to want to keep their families and loved ones safe. On the other hand, when it comes to pursuing their own goals, they do not listen to what others might have to say about it, while manipulators often use techniques that allow them to control their opponents. They also prefer to use an inanimate medium to control that they can be used versatility in
I think conjurer.
Ways.
What was the one where you like protect your family? I feel like I'm a conjurer.
That's manipulator. It's the one who protects your family.
I'm probably a manipulator then.
Yeah.
See, I don't even remember what it was. Am I brave, calm, determined? I'm taking this quiz. I love the show. See, like, look at this. A good show has you thinking about things like this. Like, well, where do I fit in? Where do I go?
I think you were an enhancer.
Oh.
I think Ben was an enhancer and I was a specialist.
I could see that.
Well, thank you.
I mean, in a good way.
Okay. Are you looking for it?
I was trying to find the exact one that we took, but...
Okay, well, Ben's doing this. I'm going to, actually search the terms that he probably needs to search to find what he's looking for while you take your quiz.
I mean, there are tons of them out there. I was just trying to find the...
I just started taking one on Playbuzz.
But while she's doing that, I'll look it up.
Okay. Oh, I'm getting my results right now. Okay.
She took that quiz.
I am...
It's not the same one we took.
Oh, no, this says transmuter. This is wrong. Definitely wrong.
I told you.
This test was trash.
I love it. I love it. Okay. It might have been too far back then, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It didn't show up.
It didn't show up.
I was trying to find it in my tweets, but it's still probably too far back.
Probably. We took this months ago.
I mean, but people do it all the time. Let me see what you...
Okay, well, while he's doing that, can we also talk about one of the things that I noticed this time around? I feel like I'm noticing so much more about the characters this time around. And one of the things that I noticed that I thought was interesting is how, obviously, Killua is the more thoughtful one between them, right?
Right.
I loved how Gon in Heaven's Arena won all of his matches. The matches that he won all of them with psychological advantages, whereas Killua just straight up fought them. And you would expect the opposite, right? For Killua to be doing the psychological warfare, but and for Gon to just run in. And
absolutely, that was a really cool flip they did. I didn't even really pick up on that. I just thought that was Gon just becoming a more conscious fighter. Because in the beginning, Gon was really going off instinct. Yeah. He fought like he was fishing, you know. Yeah. And it seemed like the more he learned and watched other people, that's another thing that I really like about it coming full circle, because they're talking about the way Gon is now, like he's raised in nature, by the water, in the woods, you know, and that kind of sense of adaptation, like you're constantly adapting. So I like that they pulled that in with his fighting style would change. So anyway, I didn't see it the way you see it, but I like that perspective.
Yeah, it made everything make sense and kind of connected all those threads together, you know, and it's consistent. And that consistency kind of makes it believable in a way, at least believable to its own world. And I feel like that's really what immerses you more in the show.
Yeah, the fact that Killua could just stand there and take 1,000 volts of electricity, it ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing.
Right?
But, I mean...
It's like...
But that ties into his training. That's who he was. Not like he was born that way. And he says that he was like, I have been trained to withstand electricity and torture.
It's not like it doesn't hurt, but it's
Just can't stand it.
Like, I can feel it and it hurts and it kind of pisses me off, but it ain't
Not-
gonna do
yeah.
nothing.
I love that his hands are forever in his pockets. He's like, ow.
But you know what I also love? I love how Kilua's win influenced Gon's win. Because
Yes.
he fought him and he's like, if you die, if you fall from there, you're gonna die. So like, what do you want me to do? He's like, catch me. Sure. Still lighten up. I was like, here, come on, I got you.
Come on, I
And
got you.
He's like,
I got you.
So he was so afraid of being shocked again.
Gon didn't even have to do it.
Gon didn't even turn him on.
Power on. He was like,
He's foaming at the mouth.
Foaming
He's
at the
out.
mouth.
Out.
But you know what I thought of when he started foaming at the mouth? I thought of on Kyoshi Island in Avatar: The Last Airbender. The foaming of the mouth dude who every time Aang shows up, he's like,
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know it's not technically anime, but I just want to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender again and talk about it.
We can.
We did it
It's so
recently.
good.
Yeah, but we also watched Hunter x Hunter recently. So.
We watch it every year. We have several yearly rewatches.
Right.
And
You're just like,
Hunter
okay.
x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like we watch those like at least once a year, at least once every like 15 months.
Yeah.
Like it gets rewatched.
Nice. Yeah, it's just like on your regular rotation.
It's like, you know what we haven't seen in a while? Avatar. Let's watch that. You know? But,
Love it.
There's one more moment that I feel like we really have to talk about. And that's when Killua went and threatened those other 3 guys.
Yes.
When he told them to keep your promise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's
terrifying.
like one of my favorite Killua moments. Like, I love Killua.
So good.
First of all.
Yeah.
But I really loved... You just keep crowding me off and crowding me off and crowding me off.
I was just trying to make sure I was in the flank.
She said,
that distracted me. One of my favorite Killua moments, as I was saying, is
you guys are a mess. I swear. Sorry, go ahead.
You breathe and you die.
right. He just
Use
he pops
men
up.
and you die.
But he was so calm about it. He was like, you know what?
Yes.
And he
Knife
had
to the
like
guy's head.
simple code. He was like, look, y'all want to win? Fine. I can lose 3 times. I'll give each of you a win, but leave Gon out of it. He went,
Aww.
he registered, got Zushi. He was like, look, just keep your promise or else. And they're like, ooh, or else what?
He's
And
like,
he's like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't
There's
worry
no
about
point
it.
in telling you now. Just keep your promise.
And then he saw the scalper. He's like, going against the... Go. Whoa. Pause. The scalper dude is like, oh, shucks, all right.
Right. That was awesome. I love those moments where we see Killua being crazy. Like, contained crazy.
Yeah.
That was insane.
And then when he pulled the shadow knife out, when he's stood
Yes.
up behind him, and the dude is in his mirror like, I'm gonna win against Killua, and then I'm gonna win against Gon, and then I'll have to find 3 more suckers, and then I'll fight a floor master. And then, side note, you can't win against the floor master if you gotta cheat to get there. First of all,
if you gotta cheat to win your regular fights, what makes you think you will be able to be the floor master? But
Exactly.
I digress. But he's sitting there, and then Killua just shows up. He's like, move and you die. Breathe and you die. Blink if you understand. No, he didn't say blink. He said close your eyes if you understand. He's like, do you see now? Do you see now what happens when you break your promises? It's like, if you do, open your eyes. And he's just sweating. Like, his whole face is just melting.
Yes, it was just melting. Yes.
And then he's just like, you know what? I ain't gonna kill you. I don't ever want to see your face ever again. And then he's like,
Awesome.
all right.
That's why he's my favorite.
And then he leaves. And while on his way out of town, he warns the other guys.
Like, don't mess with the kids. Do not mess with the
Don't
kids.
do it.
And then
Do not do it.
They get off the phone with him, and they're just like,
He got scared.
He got scared off. We'll have to step it up and do something else or whatever. And Killua's already in the room, just like no, it's better if you keep your promises.
Yeah,
yeah, fair and square.
Right, and he's like, I can get to you. And then he walks in, and he's all cool and stuff. And then all of a sudden, he's on the other side of the room looking at him. It's like, I can get to you whenever I want. When you're sleeping, when you're taking a crap, it doesn't matter. It's all fair game.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
The rules only benefit you.
And then he walks out the door. Like, he goes out the front door. And I'm just like, this man. And then he leaves. And then they look, you know what? I think we should fight fair and square. That is what I've been saying the entire time. But what I really, really also loved with that whole scene, with that whole little triage, is the fact that not only did Killua handle it, but Gon handled it too, because he was like, when he fought little spinning top dude
for the second time.
First of all, Gon was like, "Forget your spinning tops. I got this." First of all, you a spinning top. You ain't got no floor to spin on. What you gonna do, homie? Huh? What you gonna do? And then he breaks his leg so hard that he's bleeding, and then he's like, "Do it again, and I'm gonna break your face."
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I just broke your steel leg with this fist. I'll break your face the same way.
Like, so awesome.
Right? And it's just like, and you could, it gave a great contrast, the rematch, to what it's like without Nin and what it's like with Nin.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like, and he had basic Nin the first time, but
I wouldn't say he had Nin. I would say he had Zetsu. He knew how to hide his presence.
He knew how to hide his presence, and he knew Nin. The basics.
He knew what it was.
He knew what it was, but he hadn't got. They got the truth because he had to get it before he got to the 200 floor.
Oh yeah.
So he got the basics of Nin, the super like basics.
Yeah.
But once he had like pretty much finished his training, he went back, fought the same dude, and those same attacks that he had to like vigorously try to dodge. He came out the gate and just tanked them all, even though he could have dodged them at that point.
Yeah, but. The other thing that I feel like it shows the difference is Gon and Killua, like, while they're naturally talented, like, we're not going to take that away, they also train. They also work hard. They also wanted to learn. And it's like, yeah, the other people got initiated by force, which sucks, but it's like you could still also train. You could still also get better. You could also still strengthen what you do, but it's like they chose to take an underhanded route.
Yep.
So that's why when it's like if you are at a level 7, let's say, right? Yeah, you're gonna feel like the big man on campus if you're fighting someone at a level 3. But if the person at a level 3 can level up to a level 15 by the next time they see you, then you're not the big man on campus because you didn't move at all. You're still in the same place that you started at. You know?
Right.
And that's why they're rookie hunters.
Right.
And they don't fight other people.
You see, they wasn't lined up to fight Hisoka. They wasn't lined up to fight Castro. They wasn't lined up to fight each other. They wasn't lined up to fight nobody else on the 200th floor except for Gon and Killua. And to be fair, with the exception of Hisoka and Castro, they were the most dangerous people on the floor. Like, that's probably... I feel like logic dictates, hi, I'm a grown man and I struggled to get here. These are 2 children, and they just having a good time. All right? Maybe I shouldn't mess with them. I don't know. Thoughts?
I would have bounced. I'd be like, okay, you know what? This new generation is disrespectful. I'm just going to go ahead and go.
Like, clearly, I was born like a decade too early because I missed the talent generation. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
There's something weird about this situation.
Like, if I saw a kid just casually walking down the street paying bills, managing a mortgage, going to work at a 9 to 5.
I'm a mortgage girl.
That kid has been through some stuff.
Kid's seen
it all.
Kid's 12 with a whole mortgage. All right, kid, you do you.
You have credit.
Live your best life. You got credit. You can't even reach the steering wheel, so you have to walk to work. But hey, live your best life. You doing it. I respect. I ain't got a mortgage. You know? I don't know how you did it, but... Who signed off on you? Who co-signed? Curious.
Right.
Maybe he ain't cash. Maybe he ain't got a mortgage. I don't know.
Maybe he ain't got a mortgage. I don't know. But you obviously have leveled up faster in life than I have, so I'm going to let you be. You know, maybe you can teach me something.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. There's a lot to it. So this was I'm glad that you guys had me watch this chunk for this iteration. There was so much good stuff. We could probably talk for like 2 more hours about it.
Yeah. Did you have anything else that you wanted to go over that we did?
No, I think we really topped it off. I'm just glad that it feels like we're getting more, and I'm so excited for the next batch because I like feel like I finally have something to really sink my teeth.
Yeah.
You know, I mean the Hunter exams were cool, but like now like we're really getting to the meat of stuff.
Yeah.
You're really gonna like the next arc.
Yeah, the next arc is great.
I'm excited.
Like all the arcs, they kind of build on each other, so each one they kind of get better and better.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you'll definitely like it.
Which I love.
Yeah. So, in an effort to wrap this up, we're going to be watching episodes 39 through...
There are exactly 20 episodes left in the arc. I recommend that we at least
just finish it, or
I mean, if you want to finish all 20 next week,
in a week. No, that's not my temperament. I'm sorry, I'm not like you guys. Y'all can watch it in a day. So 39 to
39 to at least I would say at least 48. What do you say?
Okay.
I would say
that
yeah,
way we can do 10 this
49.
week, 10 next week, and then they'll finish the season.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right.
All right.
So that is it, you guys, for this session of the Anime Freshman. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe to the channel. Tap the notification button. I did that wrong. Tap the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, do the same for LaKase on her channel from LaKase Marie, do the same on my channel at Written in Melanin, and yeah, tell your friends about it. Talk to us in the comments.
Follow us on Twitter, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, y'all know what the gambit is, alright?
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it.
If you forgot, just go to the links down below. They're all there.
Yeah. And that is it. Next week we will be talking about episodes 39 through 49. So the next 10 episodes. Make sure to come back, watch it with us, talk with us. We love all that good stuff because that is who we are. That's who we be. That's what we do. All right. That's it. For real. We know you could be doing other things, but we're glad you decided to animate with us. Until next time, you guys. Peace.
Out.